Hi everyone, welcome to Lunch Hour Lessons with Allison. I'm Allison Mädl, and today is Wednesday, October 23rd, 2019. Each week at 12:30, I come to you live to give you a topic related to nutrition and health and give you a lesson to take with you into your daily life. If you like what you hear, feel free to comment or like this video. And as always, I post a transcript of each lesson on my blog at AllisonMädl.com. This week's topic is Teflon pots and pans, why I don't use them, and what are my alternatives. Excuse me. You may have heard by now that non-stick coated pans utilize chemicals that have been shown to be toxic to create the non-stick effect. And the type of chemicals that are used are called, it has an abbreviation, it's called PFAS chemicals, or per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. Polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS. So they aren't only used in cookware, actually, but these types of chemicals are also used in things like microwave popcorn bags to create kind of like a slippery coating, or water-resistant fabrics and carpeting, as well as household paints and really many other materials. Since about the 1950s, they've been used. Teflon is one of the PFAS that is the most common non-stick pot and pan coating used in the industry, with probably about 99% of non-stick bakeware and cookware utilizing Teflon. DuPont is the name of the company that manufactures and invented Teflon, and they argue that Teflon is safe to use, but advises that it's never heated over 500 degrees Fahrenheit. So that would be the maximum temperature for cooking with this material. And the company explains that if the cookware is heated over 500 degrees Fahrenheit, the coating will start to break down on a molecular level, so you wouldn't see it. And toxic particles and gases, some of which are carcinogenic, these PFAS compounds, they would be released. And many of them are fluorine-containing compounds, which are known to be damaging to human health and animal health. So now, even though DuPont and most cooking websites do assert that you can keep on using your Teflon pots and pans, that it's safe, at lower temperatures, although some don't even say that, I like to employ what I have as my err on the side of caution strategy, as well as most things in life. And I don't use Teflon in my kitchen for several reasons. One is, well, previous to the few I'll list right now, is obviously the fact that it just has these chemicals in it, and so I'd rather not even cook with it at all. But I am a little concerned, so this is number one, about the cooking temperature situation, because I know that cooking temperatures can be hard to control. And according to a Good Housekeeping article, a pan, so just as an example, a pan that would be preheated on high heat with 2 tablespoons of oil reached 514 degrees, so that's already over the 500 degree limit, in only 2.5 minutes. And that's pretty quick to get up to the temperature of releasing harmful gases. And it makes me wonder that even if the pan hadn't been heated on high heat, if maybe it would still have gotten up there if it had been heated longer. So that's the first reason why I don't really feel comfortable with it. The second would be, while a person may not feel the effects of the PFAS gases, animals, especially pet birds, are the ones that have been known to die from the Teflon created gases in people's houses, especially if the room isn't ventilated well. And I can see that as literally a canary in the coal mine situation, where these birds with their more delicate respiratory systems sort of show us that these gases are not healthful. The third one would be that PFAS are shown to remain in the environment and in our bloodstream for decades. And some scientists call them forever chemicals because of this. And I don't really like that idea in the first place. We have enough things in our water and in our own, bodies right now that are accumulating that we don't need more. And the last one is, I just would rather use cookware that I don't have to worry so much about how hot it is. I don't monitor the temperature of my pan while it's cooking, so how will I know if it's really exceeding the limits and moving into dangerous territory? So instead, I have a few alternatives. Now I'm going to share the variety of materials that I use for my cookware, depending on what I'm making. So it depends on the foods that you're wanting to cook. So for example, the first one would be for stir frying and for like skillets and things like making eggs or pancakes, griddle type things. I use a brand called Green Pan. Green Pan products are made with a safer type of nonstick coating. It's a ceramic coating actually, and it has a surface that doesn't create any harmful gases. It doesn't utilize PFAS or that compound. So that's one, is the Green Pan, and the other would be enameled cast iron. I don't use regular cast iron because I found it's kind of finicky to use. Some people love them, like a well-seasoned one, but I don't use those in my kitchen just because I don't have one that I like. So I use enameled cast iron instead, and I found a good discount on a Le Creuset brazier, and so we use that as well. So then on to things like boiling for soups and sauces and hard-boiled eggs and stews and anything that you're going to boil water in. I like to use just simple stainless steel pots and no coating on the inside. So they're going to look like steel on the inside. And my favorite brand is Farberware, which is an old American brand that has been around for, I don't know, I think like 100 years. So Farberware are good products, and that's what I use. For things like roasting vegetables in the oven or cookies or like cookie sheets and bakeware, I found a brand called Nordic Ware Naturals, which it's an aluminum baking sheets. They're like almost commercial grade aluminum baking sheets. And they don't have any nonstick coating on them, but I still put on usually unbleached parchment paper or a silicone baking mat so that my food doesn't touch the aluminum. And I'll put a link to a blog on my website that made me feel a little more comfortable cooking with aluminum, but you would never want to cook with aluminum pots and pans on the stovetop. Just in the oven can be okay. So that was that. And for baking bread, I actually have a couple Le Creuset ceramic loaf pans, which I really love. But you can also go ahead and use glass, and that would be my last recommendation would be for pretty much anything else like making casseroles or quick breads like cornbread or roasting meat, like doing a roast chicken. Just a simple Pyrex glass baking dish is great. So those are my recommendations, and that's all the time we have for today. Feel free to tell a friend this week's lunch hour lesson, which is the risks of using Teflon outweigh the nonstick benefits. Again, the risks of using Teflon do outweigh the nonstick benefits. Like my page to get the weekend tip that'll come out on Saturday. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.